And we are live at 5:30, 7:30 Central from the Piranha Pond. What's everybody? What's up, everybody? Out in digital land, I want to welcome you to another episode of the Piranha Pond Streamcast live at 5. I am your illustrious host, Kingfish Mac, joined as usual by the piranhas in the goddamn pond. To the left of me, always the best of me, my brother, Mr. Frankly Non-Flyer. What's up, baby boy?
Hey, what up, world? I hope everyone out there is having a wonderful evening.
That's right. Down below, you know my heart and soul, my baby bro, Mr. Nick Nass. What's happening with you, boy?
Let's get it in.
That's right. That's right. And y'all know who brightens up the pond, brings the bling bling, and beautifies this bad boy. My beautiful cousin, Miss Nick Mo. What's up with you, Shell?
What's up? What's up, people?
Oh, yeah, you know. Some more of the same, man. And I guess we doing okay. How you doing, Auntie Luana? Good to see you joining us today out in the comment section. What are we doing today? Today we are having an offshoot of the conversation that we've been having for the last couple of days. That was kind of inspired by the whole Mo'Nique D.L. Hughley scenario and situation. Since we were on live last, there has been more and more developments to the story. Seems like Mo'Nique is tripling down and some more shit. And one of the things that had one of the tools that she's been using to get her message across is the Instagram, right? Her Instagram live, where she's been showing up regularly with her husband, or her zaddy, as we like as we like to call him here on the program. And what's been coming across to me, and I think probably to most of Mo'Nique's viewers, as well as just regular viewers, is that she seems to be kind of really caught up in the whole idea of what her and her husband seem to think is right, as opposed to what the rest of the world seems to be screaming is right. So it kind of brings to me the question of whether or not we realize or recognize when we are in toxic types of relationships, especially when the toxicity is not internalized, when it's us against the world, but all the rest of the world is wrong. We the only right motherfuckers, and we living within the rightness of our relationship, damn the whole world. I think that in kind of the pre-talk, I mentioned, or I kind of assumed that all of us have been in scenarios where we could look back and say it was a situation that really wasn't for us, right? Whether we got out on time, whether we stuck that shit out, and watch the whole fucking house burn down around us. My question for the piranhas today is, do we really know when when our relationship is bad for us? Holler at me, piranhas.
Hell yeah, we know what it is, right? This is absolutely delusional right now, right? Because you can actually see the breakdown of the structure. But trying to go back to these old ways in these modern times is absolutely disgusting, because you cannot start it off with dehumanizing other people's relationship and want everybody to pivot and get on your line right now. So yes, they've been knowing that it's been toxic for a long time, but they want to convince us they're living in the righteous way. Now, one time I haven't heard for this time I've been taking the information of forgiveness and understanding. It's been this person against us, Zaddy or whatever you want to say, and it's absolutely ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And this is it's a bad taste in everybody's mouth, because we have lived different and seen different. So wherever it is, keep your business to yourself, or dismantle the whole program, or really think about this, y'all, Pond, right? It's the fact to not accept the truth about themselves. And that is the sickening part, because everybody could see it. So don't force feed me no bullshit. Ever. Yeah, they need to just cut her Instagram right there. Cut it. And that's the whole thing, man. That is the part where I guess that people want them to win so bad, because they've been against all with in their relationship, they've been against all odds. So their ambitions as writers together is on the footsteps of Delusional.
I would absolutely agree with you. I'd absolutely agree with you on that, in terms of her being delusional, or them being delusional. Here, let me play this for you guys. Quick snippet of the
Nobody
Instagram
has no
live.
idea what they're talking about.
When y'all are asking me, is it okay to re-traumatize his daughter? Listen, y'all, let's stop playing this game. There's nothing I can say or do to re-traumatize that baby, because the trauma has already set in. However, if we speak it out loudly and we say it to our community, maybe the next baby won't have to deal with the goddamn trauma. See, when I made that post, it was intentional. It was intentional.
Wow.
It was intentional.
And let me say this too.
Look at this fool.
When we speak about the character, we don't know D.L. Hughley in the totality to speak about his character, but what we know is about his actions. So what we can say reasonably and factually is that when you have a man that said essentially that he didn't do right by his daughter, that seemed to me that it would create a level of humility that you wouldn't go after other people so vehemently in the manner that you do.
But look at the comments. This on her page.
That's the moment when humility steps in and say, I have my own demons to deal with. So moving forward, the way in which I approach and go after
But
people,
she got a son. Where's her
not.
son at?
You see, when Mo'Nique went on his show trying to support her friend at that time, D.L, and she was asked, would you rather your husband sleep with Lee Daniels without a condom or Corinne Stephens with a condom? That is a violation of a woman's whole position.
Okay, let me stop that right there, right? Because I'm not going to be able to give him no bail with his wife sitting right there and him trying to explain to us what a woman's position is and how she feels with the woman sitting right there. So let me just stop my man right there. Right? This is kind of emblematic of kind of what I've been seeing or what I've been noticing, and what kind of inspires the topic for this particular podcast. Not so much them, right? Not that we're gonna make this whole hour about Mo'Nique's relationship, because we've done enough analyzing that and coming to the exact analysis that we're at right now, which is that their shit is problematic. But not only is it problematic, but it's also emblematic of shit that might go on in regular people's life lifestyles as well, right? As I said, here, let's just start with me. I know that I have been in relationships where they weren't good for me, both because of the woman's positioning, and I've been in scenarios where the relationship wasn't good because I was a fucking dickhead at the time, right? That I was the problem, that I was the one that was bringing the toxic energy, the whole machismo and I ain't never wrong, shut the fuck up and let's get this money, you know what I'm saying? And, all the shit that goes along with the particular lifestyle that I was leading at the time. And I think that at some point in my life, I think when I turned 50, I kind of look back on a lot of the ways that I had interacted with the sisterhood, and I realized that shit. The problem up until that point of why I'm not married with a strong woman behind me it was me, right? And so I kind of changed my whole outlook and uh, the way that I interact with women, the way that I listen to them, the way that I deal with a lot of bullshit that I think is just fucking pointless, that is just wasted energy and air, but it's necessary because it's part of the fucking relationship, right? So what I'm saying is that I've become a different person, but in becoming a different person, I've looked for um, that different person to be with me as well, right? Like I told Shell the other day, shit, I don't really want to be looking to 25-year-olds for understanding no more. You feel what I'm saying? But what has also happened with this new understanding or this new me, right? The me trying to be all the way authentic and cool in the relationship or whatever is I find a lot of bullshit with the females that I encounter, right? Either because of who I attract, or who I'm attracted to, right? And or because of becoming in finding myself in situations that aren't really designed for my type of personality. You feel what I'm saying? And in those situations, because so I'm so conscious of all the fuck shit that I did for 50 years, right? A lot of times you don't really put your foot down about shit that you know is wrong because you're trying to be um, you're trying to have some penance for that shit that you did. You feel what I'm saying? You don't want to be that motherfucker. So you don't want to just be like, okay, this is some bullshit right here. Let me just approach this with this is some bullshit. And however the fuck the chips fall, that's how they fall because you keep thinking of yourself as the old you, right? But it doesn't stop the fact that the bullshit is still the bullshit, right? so you still end, so you still end up having to deal with it, and at some point you have to realize that okay, this type of bullshit is not what is designed for me to be happy for the rest of my life, and you get the fuck up out of there. You feel what I'm saying? So, like I said, I've been on both sides of the equation. I'd be interested to know, like Frank, you married, Nick, you divorced, Shell ain't never been married, and she's a girl. So I'd like to really know what you guys' experiences have been.
Well,
Well,
personally, since I'm still in it, it's I believe it's a code ebb and flow, but I believe the question in itself is subjective because for some people it could be disrespect, for some people it could be lack of time, for some people it could just be sheer unadulterated fucking just dislike. You know what I'm saying? You run into some shit and you realize this ain't the shit you in, but you over your head and you don't know how to get out of that shit. Like it could be a multitude of reasons as opposed to how a person could feel like he's in the wrong relationship. But I believe it's really all about how you feel. You know what I mean? If the shit is too heavy, then you in the wrong relationship. You know what I mean? Period, point blank. But it could be
Well,
differences
how do
and
you
shit.
determine what's too heavy? Because a lot of times, a lot of us, especially niggas like you and like the three of us, we approach obstacles in the relationship as just that. It's just an obstacle, and ain't no fucking obstacle gonna get in my way. I'm just gonna go around and shit or destroy it, right? And that's
Right.
kind of how we approach problems, but how do you know when it's too heavy?
When you
When
personally, when you've eliminated all possibilities of it being you, want you to give it all you can give it, and there's still some bullshit behind it, then that's way too heavy because you can't fix that. You know what I'm saying? You can't fix another person. You can
What if you don't?
accompany and abide and make all the accommodations and take all the ultimatums. And if it's still fucking up, if it's still some type of animosity or then that's too heavy personally for me, because again I'll either fix the problem or destroy it, go around it, but I ain't gonna deal with it when it's unnecessary to deal with. So for me, yeah,
yeah,
when you've eliminated all possibilities of it being you, then it's too heavy.
so my thing is too, right? When actually start affecting the internals of my house, the things that we have built, because I was in a very unique situation because in my union, I lived and worked with her and developed businesses and had my own business. So it became an acute thing where a lot of times that you will listen, you'll lend the ear. But most majority of the time, getting into the upper echelon or what we call successful entrepreneurs, that comes with the territory. And like what Mac was saying, we started from the mud with all of this, separated for a time, but it was never a break because we never gave our mind a break to think about what is the dysfunction, that we can't talk it out. Because all it takes is 30, not even 30 minutes to talk out a list of problems that might arise, that might be a potential discussion because it's never an argument, right? And you actually start doing it in actual factuals, not, oh, potentially this could be a problem, or going for all the desires that they want from, or each of y'all want from the relationship that would never be probably accomplished because all these other things are going on. So with that is, we had to learn how to pivot, Matt. And once we felt a toxic thing coming up, we did that shit right then and there. Now, it wasn't lack of understanding, and it wasn't lack of not knowing. It's what was relatable and moving on to the next day. You know what I'm saying? That's how you keep this modern or whatever, this toxicity out of your shit. Point blank, period. Because when it comes down to the bottom line, it's about making sure you survive to the next day. So you can have a 5-year plan, 20-year plan, but it actually don't work out. It's actually a toxic action to actually indulge in somebody else's complete desire. Because if people out there in digital world don't understand, it's not about what I could do for you. It's not about if I could make you feel happy. It's not all of these other things, because it becomes you see the goal, but somebody else changed the goalpost. If you're not happy with inside yourself eternally, or you don't have no self-esteem, all of these things that's running concurrent with the daily activities that's going on to your family, yes, then you let that in. So no fake boundaries, no fake, no realistic talk about the ambitions we have to make it to the next day. So Matt, and I like how you put it like that, because seeing what we seeing in this media space or behind the screen, Instagram, whatever, all this social media, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, it can socially affect us because that's some reference point for people's relationship these days. They don't even know how to communicate with the other person. You know what I'm saying? So we'll come in the door and it's like, I seen this today. And like they got a whole lesson for us to try to get and conform to this bullshit when it don't exist in our shit at all.
Living through memes and shit.
Yeah. And I'm like, where the fuck this come from? You know what I'm saying? That's not me. I'm not going to dress like that. I'm not going to have the swag like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, for real. With this new shit, it's going to be a no-cap motherfucking relationship around this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Either we going to get it or we not going to get it. But one thing for certain, if you stuck on that lesson, go ahead and write an essay on that shit. But I'll keep fucking moving. You know what I'm saying? I will let you know I'm not applying to that shit. And, you know, in my recent times, you know, coming across people, they say, that's my toxic masculinity. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? I need to be more sensitive to people's feelings. And I'm like, yeah, you need to be sensitive if you're going to breathe tomorrow. You got gas money, you got some water, you got this, the kids are taken care of. You know what I'm saying? And stop trying to make me comfortable with my life is. I'm already comfortable and for sure of who I am. You know what I'm saying? And we can adjust from conversation, but my action shows that I'm going to keep on pushing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to leave you behind. I will hope that you will come up and to be, you know what I'm saying, a conversation we could have and depend more on my action than how you feel about how I act. You know? And that's a big ass poison problem. How the hell? Oh, I wish you would act this way or make me feel. Oh, I wish you would have pay me more attention. And I'm like, well, damn, are you insecure that I didn't know about? You know what I'm saying? What was the information you was taking in throughout the day to actually put this fucking toxic pot of gumbo on my motherfucking stove, be sitting in the heat, and then it's sprawled, bubbling up and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not eating that fucking bullshit poison that you're trying to give me. I'm cool. For real, for real.
Well,
so
go
ahead, Matt.
No, I was just gonna say that I probably could find a lot of sisters that would think of that attitude as something that they probably would want to get away from in terms of the conversation that we're having right now.
Yeah, of course.
So what I'm saying is that maybe from a woman's perspective, I don't know where Shell went, but maybe from the woman's perspective, that some of the things that they might be looking for to know whether or not the relationship is bad for them is whether the guy is going to be considerate of her feelings to the extent that it could replace what's actual, the actual logical shit that he's talking about or whatever, right? And that if he's unwilling to ever do that, then that would show an insensitivity to her emotional well-being or some shit like that. I'm just guessing right now, throwing words together.
So, but look, so this is what I say that I got a resume behind it, allegedly, because it was once upon a time, women was in my life that to say, hey, I was thinking right now, how you feel about it? I want you to take me to amateur night. I want you to take me to Alvarado Street. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm looking at that person that came to me to put her head on my chest and say, hey, I like you as a guy, as a man, right? But do you have the testicular fortitude to deal with me on here? Or do you want me to be an in-house wife? Do you want me to have a career or whatever? And we could actually, as I know for certain, that we can accommodate that. Long as it stay on the up and up and the right. Let me know. You know what I'm saying? It's up to me if I want to invest like that, because we know the day is going to come, right? That might get boring to you. So adjust, pivot, and whatever it is. If y'all, this is the one thing. If it's loyalty and respect in that part, because it's going to be a time where definitely I'm going to take the lead. So it ain't going to be no independent woman, independent thing when it comes to this, because I know for a fact my emotion and my views are different than what you see. You know what I'm saying? So not trusting me, believing me that I'm going to make it right and actually stop us because I question a person's character. And I question, but it's how you start out in it. That's how it's always going to be. If it becomes something different, you have a conversation and say that don't apply to me. It's not applicable. Whether it's kids coming to the into the equation, whether you got 4 or 5 kids already, I'm gonna love the kids and love you and respect that part of the thing. So I'm gonna do with the best of my ability, but at the same time, learn that person. You know what I'm saying? And where does it fit in my life?
I believe
because it's gonna change.
I believe that a woman has to come into a relationship with a certain air of confidence in herself, because if she's constantly dependent on somebody else to make her feel a certain way, then I don't think there's a such thing as enough. You know what I'm saying? Because once you feel one void, she's gonna look to you to fill all the voids. You know what I mean? So I think you have to come into a relationship with a certain air of fucking arrogance about yourself, man, a certain love for yourself. Because if you don't, then that becomes too heavy. Because I can't make you feel good about yourself, no matter how many flowers I buy you, no matter how many trinkets I get you, no matter how many times I tell you you're beautiful or I love you or all any of that. Um, if you have insecurities, and they're gonna always bleed through.
So it just like I was saying, right? And y'all know the story. It's like, I was in the union for all that time. So she never ever had to worry about none of this stuff. You could go hop in 3 or 4 different, what they call it now, foreigns, $100,000 cars, 5 bedroom houses, lake houses, 5 carat rings. You know what I'm saying? All the financials in the shoebox in the bank. You know what I'm saying? Other matches, secret stashes, all the clothes, everything you wanted. But it came down to they felt like it had to be some kind of different because all this new information that was coming in. So the seasons change. You can't think everything's going to be the same way forever. And once the seasons change in your mind, that's when the toxicity come in, because just like you just said, Frank, I could do all the wrong and I can't do nothing right. But I know for certain what I'm doing is on the straight up and up. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask the question a different way, because I don't think we're getting to what the topic is. So, coming from your perspective, Nick, everything that you just said, how do you know, or when do you know that the chick is bad for you? The whole relation, when it's time, when do you know that it's time to throw the relationship in the fucking trash? Second question is, what happens in the times when you're not aware of any toxicity? Like, your problem is not with your partner, but the problem is you and your partner and the way that you guys deal with the rest of the world, like what we're dealing with Mo'Nique. Shall you muted? I can take you off if you want.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay, there you
go.
So to answer your first question is, right, it's because none of your goals are getting accomplished, which you had set forth from the day to day, when your basis actually is being questioned. Your basic way of life is actually being questioned, because now it becomes every move that you make is wrong or is a problem with. Every decision you got doesn't make no sense on further in the future. And that is the tall tale sign, completely and over with, right? Because once you have that in your mind, once you have that definition, you're going to speak it into existence. And there's no way out of it. So once the bond of that comes into play, Mac, you know what I'm saying? When you feel yourself to sit in the driveway, because this is the feeling I got, sitting in the driveway going, "Ooh, I just fought the world. I got to go over here and fight." Just not to feel discipline. When the discipline start kicking in real hard, there you go, baby.
Go ahead, Shell. Give us your take, and then I'm gonna run this video to kind of piggyback off of what Nick just said, or what I just asked Nick.
Well, I was just gonna say that because I was gonna say that before I had left. Usually when you in it, yeah. I'm sorry. I'll say this: if you've been in one toxic relationship before, usually the next one you start picking up on the signs. And it's always, you gotta always factor in feelings, because sometimes when you love a motherfucker, you more acceptable to put up with more bullshit than you would if you really didn't give a shit about it. But usually usually you could feel it. It's just how much you willing to go with it. But most people, unless you've been in a bad enough one, or you that disgusted with the one that you in, which a lot of people really not when they in it, that you really be like, let me walk away. I said nobody ever why they was in it and in love with the motherfucker. You ain't do that. And it wasn't that you didn't know that this shit is like fuck. We break up more than we make up. Like you didn't like you didn't know it was bad, but you just you was in it and you was trying to fill it out, trying to see if it was gonna get better, trying to see if it was gonna last, trying to see a motherfucker really care about you to go the distance. Like me, I need a motherfucker to prove they love me every fucking day of their life, every day of their life. You don't get no passes on saying you miss me, you love me, you want me every fucking day. I need to hear shit like that. I like words of affirmation. But in the point that you're making that, yeah, usually, I'll put it like this. I don't think Mo'Nique don't know, but because she didn't been in bad relationships to where she know. But in her case, it's just like how far you gonna let that ruin your career? Because most motherfuckers ain't rich and in some shit. You struggling together. You actually got the fucking money in this shit.
Right.
So in the second part of my answer is Matt and truly right because God actually distilled to me to walk away. Because in God's eyes, I wasn't doing anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? Then he said, focus on yourself because if I don't feel right in the missing component, is nobody going to feel right in it. If I'm not happy with myself, I'm not going to sit there and lie or falsify or not be in reality to it. You know what I'm saying? So y'all know the story personally. It took me all the way out of my comfort zone with all I was used to. They would consider me as a nigga that lost everything. You know what I'm saying? How can you not make this work after all this much of time? 20 years, nigga. All y'all,
And
20 years. It's like it was rooting for y'all. And it's like now I'm back down. Like I said,
What
it
up,
was,
Rock? Shout
you
out
know,
to baby bro.
yeah.
yes,
And
sir.
so and that was the part that actually kicked into me, right? So whoever comes back in my life again, right? They have to have the unique understanding that I worked on myself. You know what I'm saying? I took the time to audit myself on a daily basis to what I'm contributing to this union. You know what I'm saying? So if I sit there, just like you said, Matt, because we hit everything, we got minds like an elephant. We'll never get no credit for it, right? But I guess we do because they allow us to come into their life to a certain extent and function in their world. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the safe place, where it's to hold them in their arms, or like you said, give them the words of sweet encouragement, even if they're down, even if they don't love themselves. But around me, I'm gonna promote that. You know what I'm saying? And my promote and how much I'm not campaigning to have no false elections or get voted the greatest motherfucker in the world. It's between me and you. The union is between us, not the rest of the world. Because when it comes down to it, you're right, right? That what happens behind closed doors is our business, right? It's it's at the age that we know what we actually have to do. Hey, Miss Lady, Miss Page. Yeah.
You was finished, Nick?
Yeah, and
Are you
then
reading?
no, I was finished reading. But then the thing is, right, that's how we actually have to, really put forth and let everybody know if the future for actually, what I'm saying, unions between us as melanin skinned people to understand that we have to learn this because if we want to reach back to and like y'all said, like Mac, you the oak, right? So you understand what I'm talking about, Frank, Shell, right? Because we actually been in it. Now, once we actually have the passion to be in a union, we have worked on ourselves to distribute these good thoughts, this promotion of this is not fake at all. You know what I'm saying? So it puts us in a predicament. We have to give receipts now. We have to prove our dedication and love, right? When it's just a simple conversation nowadays, because all the other words, when you can't shut your mind down and do like this, and we always on the go, you know, and God will sit you down one day and let you look. The universe is going to hand you a mirror and say, look at yourself. What are you contributing to the future? Because now we are the elders. You know what I'm saying? And we battle with ourselves, but we don't have to kill ourselves off. And we don't have to go for toxins to say that we lonely. Thank y'all, Pon. I mean to TED talk y'all and nothing like that. Pause.
So So the question that we have on board right now kind of reminds me of a podcast that we did a while ago, a few months ago, and in that podcast I put up a video of somebody else's podcast. It was a guy and a girl, and the guy was asking the girl, how many times does a guy have to express that he's unhappy in the relationship before he's allowed to just bounce, right? And the back and forth between the two of them kind of signaled to me, at least, that she wasn't hearing him say he was unhappy until he left, because what she was saying is, well, damn, you just gonna get up and bounce? I mean, give me 5, 6, 8 times, whatever the fucking number was and shit, right? And what dude was saying was, no, it's not just no all of a sudden, right? It's you just haven't been hearing me. Every time that I've had to have this conversation is me trying to work it out, me trying to move forward. And it kind of reminds me in reverse of this clip that I'm gonna play right now by the girls from Cocktails with Queens on Fox. So let me just say up front, in all transparency, that I'm gonna give them a whole lot of bail because I got a low key crush on Claudia Jordan.
Oh, Claudia.
So here we go.
Don't want me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This nigga he ain't attracted to her. What, nigga? Get out the way. What's wrong with you, nigga? I got a whole podcast over here.
I agree
just
with
like
you.
her.
Move the fuck out of the way. If you don't want Claudia Jordan, don't do her no favors. Move the fuck out the way.
But this clip right here it's about Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan, and it is Cocktails with Queens response or reaction to them breaking up and the reason why they're breaking up. Here we go.
Someone who's not going to be seeing each other every Monday, according to People magazine, Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey have allegedly called it quits after dating for a little over a year. Now, neither Michael nor Lori have confirmed the alleged breakup, but the source revealed that Michael allegedly wanted to pursue a more serious relationship and Lori wasn't ready.
Now, remember
what are y'all thoughts on this breakup? And did y'all see this coming difficult? Let's start with you first.
Absolutely shocking. That is all I can say. When this story came up, I was like, no, our Black Barbie and Ken broke up. Oh my goodness. They were so beautiful together. I really thought they were going to make it. I was looking forward to the wedding. I was looking forward to seeing they cheering, but it's not. I mean, I just felt like say it ain't so. No,
I think that's sad. I think that's bullshit if they said that she wasn't ready. Because I think is when a woman finds a good one, then that's what you're looking for. But I will say that she's young still, you know what I mean? And I too was looking forward to them making it, because I thought, oh, you know what? She's been looking for someone to keep on her arm, to be able to have a relationship with that is meaningful and that's successful, because we know that the girl gonna keep her somebody that is gonna be newsworthy. You know,
wow.
But I think
damn Lisa, right?
Wow. Yeah, that's real shit. You know, she ain't, and her mama Marjorie, my girlfriend, she gonna make sure that she doing and navigating the right way, because she gonna.
All right, now.
Wow.
It was Lisa Ray's response, right, that I found interesting as fuck, right?
All right.
Because what Claudia reported was from People magazine and whatever sources they vetted, and that information was that Michael B. Jordan at 35 and fresh out of a very serious relationship where he was engaged or some shit before that, right? Mm-hmm. You know, this is a man who wants to be married, right? Mm-hmm. Lori Harvey at 25, right? And out there fucking living her best life, right? And fucking doing her thing, and don't feel like she wants to be tied down, and she has the fucking right to not feel like she want to be tied down, right? So I don't find anything wrong with them realizing that their relationship is not good for them.
Right. Over.
What I do have a problem with is Lisa Ray, number one, not believing that, you know, the good black man just wants to be married and the young black woman don't. So it must be something else. And secondly, this whole well, if that's not what she wants, then fuck it. So it kind of throws out the window the whole idea of the high value black woman, kind of finding a high value black woman, a man that's equally yoked with her, and then pursuing that into what we would be known to be a successful union. It's almost like it's okay if she didn't want to fucking get married, but if he didn't want to get married, what the fuck is wrong with him? Is what I got from her. Mm-hmm. Did I read that wrong? Y'all holler at me.
No, I kind of got the annotations that she was saying there too. And then when Vivica kind of was like, because then she, say, but then she's like, well, rest assured, it's Lori, and she gonna keep us some kind of eye candy. And then when Vivica was like, damn, then she tried to fucking clean it up. But I thought that was even more disrespectful because she said, well, Marjorie, my girl, but you just fucking dissed her daughter, and you just called her daughter in the worst way. You didn't call her.
And then said her mama taught her how to be that way.
Back with that eye candy on her arm, and then just turned around and be like, oh, but Marjorie, that's my girl. She go,
Marjorie, Steve had all that drama with Marjorie and his ex-wife too. Remember, his ex-wife was coming out. She did a whole bunch of interviews and some more shit talking about she got left broke. Marjorie stole her husband from her and all that kind of shit. So.
But
Marjorie's a gangster too. You know what I'm saying? She's in the D game, not allegedly.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? She's been with the shits.
Right.
Yeah.
You know the story of the brothers. You know the story.
Like I say, Marjorie is a gangster.
Right.
But like I said though, like earlier, right? They wasn't relatable. They gave it a shot. You know what I'm saying? They gave it a good try. But that's not relatable.
But I think they was relatable until.
But I'm saying, but
25, rich and gorgeous, and don't really exactly need a man. I'm just saying, it ain't like she needs him to take care of her.
You about to mess up right there.
Not feeling she don't want to be married just yet.
That's what I thought Lisa Ray was saying too.
Let's just be real with it. She's not the average 25-year-old in the hood. She's rich by all counts between her and her family. Somebody that wasn't rich at 25, who was beautiful, Michael B. Jordan wanted to wife up, bitch, they wiping.
Let me ask you this: At what age?
At what age?
We understand 25, rich and beautiful, Hollywood's darling. At what age does that kind of fall off, and you start kind of looking for, a long-term, serious, lifelong partnership? At what age is the appropriate age for a woman who has her own money, is beautiful, and all that other shit?
Depending on if she, I believe depending
out of high school, man. So
I believe depending on what you plan on having kids and all of that shit. But I think 30 is a nice round number.
And I was just gonna say I would give it anywhere between 32 and 35. I wouldn't exactly hate on it if she held out as long as she felt like she could.
So now let me ask you this. Okay, we're gonna go with 35. Okay. We're gonna go 30 to 35.
Too late.
So say Nick, we're gonna make it you, right? You are fucking Hollywood royalty, man. You the man, right? You commanded 20 million a picture. You know what I'm saying? You 35. You've never been married. You don't have no kids, and you looking for a wife, not a fucking, problem, not no fucking toss up, not no arm candy. How many 30 to 35-year-olds with their own money and all that shit are you looking for?
None of them.
Yeah, my point exactly. I'm looking for 25 on the come up at that age.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because like right now.
Because like your money at that stage of the game don't mean fuck to me.
No.
Like your money, your degrees, your fucking accomplishments,
your fame.
All that shit is shit for us to be proud of together, right?
Yeah.
But it don't mean fuck in terms of the relationship moving forward, because I got all that shit any fucking way, right? What I need you to be is supportive, you know what I'm saying, fucking comforting, you know what I'm saying, feminine, for whatever, however you want to term that shit, insightful as a motherfucker, you know. I need you to be seeing shit that I don't see because you're 10 years younger than me, so you understand this social media shit a little better than I do. Like, I need all that kind of shit. The 35-year-old chick, the same age as me, been doing the same shit I was doing because she got bread just like I got bread. I can't tell her a motherfucker. First of all, who's wearing the pants in this bitch?
There you go.
That's the first thing. And why? What am I going to hang my hat on? Life experience, money, fucking success, what? Bitch, you got all that shit too. And you're willing to throw that shit up in my face because it's more significant for you to have those things than it is for me to accomplish.
Right. I was about to say, what if it depends on the woman? What if she's ready to just give you all of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, then you combine mine with yours and you take the wheel. Like, Jesus.
But I'm not taking that from her neither because I'm gonna build my own thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna lay up.
You already got yours though. Remember, you getting $30 million film. You got your own thing.
I'm gonna ask you guys to look in the black community because it's small as a motherfucker. The black married community in Hollywood, and then look at the bigger white community if you need to find more fucking examples, right? But I would ask you, in the Hollywood shit, the movie industry, movie, television, all the entertainment shit, right? How many men who were successful and married a successful woman in her own right, and then they both kept doing what the fuck they was doing at that same level?
Yeah, because I don't even
just name me one couple, just one.
None of them.
Ahmad and Felicia Rashad.
Nope.
Ahmad. Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, that nigga was sportcaster and still sportcaster. He didn't get no better, but he wasn't no bullshit when he met her. So he didn't piggyback off that bitch success and none of that shit. He's always just been
right. But what I'm saying is, okay, so he was doing his thing, right? Whatever his thing was, right? Basketball and then sports casting, right? And she was doing her acting shit, right? The Cosby Show, right? And then they got married, right? Now she's contracted to the Cosby Show, right? Once the Cosby Show was over with, where was Felicia Rashad? We were still seeing Ahmad Rashad doing sports fucking shit, right? Where the fuck was Felicia Rashad? Where was Debbie Allen?
Well, I know
Debbie Allen was doing
right and producing and shit, yeah,
not being prominent like she was the fucking star. I am on a goal to be the motherfucker in my field, right?
I'm talking in terms of being equally yoked.
Like this Courtney B. Vance and
no Jay and Beyonce.
Okay, well, yeah, it's a few. Like, you know,
you would say a few
in terms of equally yoked.
I would give you Jay and Beyonce, except that I would say that once they got into their union, her music shit slowed down. Now, mind you, she became more prominent, and so she could afford to slow down, but she stopped doing the group. She started releasing one album every fucking 4 years, and don't tell you about that shit. Just drop that shit at midnight. You know, you look up and you got 12 fucking videos or some shit. In the meantime, all we hear about is Jay. We don't even hear about this nigga in the rap shit no more. This nigga so far surpassed the music industry. And now, mind you, they both billionaires, right? But I bet his billionaire-ship is a little bit more involved than hers.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying, like, she ain't out there trying to do a movie, do an album, be on Broadway every motherfucking year, still be the queen. She just like kick back. Like, if I want to drop an album, I can drop an album. It really don't make no fucking difference. I'm kind of being a mother, and I'm showing you motherfuckers that I could work and be a mother at the same time. You never hear shit about Jay being a father, except if you see a picture of him in Blue Ivy or some shit. You hear about this nigga in the NFL and doing deals and behind the scenes with Megan Thee Stallion, fuck shit. And this, you feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And then even if you go back, you know, even further, like I say, we got a whole bunch of different people who were on the same level and shit. Let's take Denzel. Denzel and Paulette, she was an actress.
Right.
More prominent than he was. When his shit took off, when his star took off,
yeah, she was all the way up there.
That she never stopped acting. She still pop up in some shit.
But that's what I'm saying. Isn't that up to the woman though? Like in Beyonce's case, she can blow just as hard as Jay-Z blowing, but she chose to kick back and do her shit. Like
this is what I'm trying.
The type of, you know what I mean?
And this is what I'm trying to say, right? You choose that. Okay, can you see Beyonce? Here, I'll give you the reverse example. Let's take Beyonce and Rihanna, right? Rihanna she wasn't married, didn't have no significant other, no nigga that she was entangled to, who she had to play fucking wifey to or none of that shit. And she didn't stop doing a motherfucking thing. She just kept building and building and building and fucking building. And now we're going to start hearing less and less of Rihanna, right? And that's not so much because A$AP Rocky is bigger. It's because now she's taking on a more important role in her
motherhood.
Motherhood.
She built up
fucking right.
Right.
That's job number one.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And that's what I think that, we're not acknowledging in this whole formula, right? Is that when this nigga, Michael B. Jordan, who is at the top of the fucking actors game right now, and at 35 years old, he's saying, look, I don't want to be fucking with a bunch of floozy bitches and getting caught up. I really want to fucking build a family.
I choose
build a life. I want to be that Sidney Poitier who 40 years from now, we can still the fucking, what's the lady's name? Ruby and Ossie Davis. And
Ruby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You looking to be that, right? And so you're looking to choose a wife that's going to be able to fucking stand that test of time. You're not looking for a 6-year wife, right? So all that shit that she's doing on the independent stage and shit, right? That shit is not important. As a matter of fact, that shit is in direct competition to what you want her for, which is wifehood and motherhood. Not to say that she shouldn't have anything to do, or, we going back to the 50s where, you just barefoot and pregnant in the home. What I'm saying is that in the greater scheme of things, right? Even though the fucking gender roles and shit has changed or meshed together a lot, men still want the traditionalness of a wife, even if that is not staying at home and just raising the babies. I want you to be able to do whatever the fuck you want to be, as long as you are able to be my wife and the mother of my kids first. And even if that might sound chauvinistic, it's what a motherfucker want. What the fuck else would you want? If I don't want that in a partner, I might as well get a motherfucking roommate.
You're absolutely correct, because and just like you said, because I never believed in like Hollywood relationships, right? Because it turned over too much, because if people want to stay relevant in what's going on. And you're right, Mac. Even at this junction in our travels, right? We actually have to change our mentality about how we look at things, because everybody's gonna be trying to run for the biggest lick right now. You know what I'm saying? For all concerned, the Harvey girl ran up on the biggest lick. You know what I'm saying? And that's what is where the toxicity comes into the day, because it's always somebody around the corner or a swipe away. You can go to Tenderizer, you can go to all these other things. You can show up on a red carpet, you could go to, you know what I'm saying?
But let me say this, because I don't want nobody to just feel like, because I know I did say, she's 25 and all, like, that's not even okay. True that she's 25, but her career is being a model. And I could see where that may be intimidating it, because he is 35 and he asked you to marry you, then you do get married, and then you don't get the option to be like, babe, I don't want to have babies yet.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't understand the correlation in the question and age.
You may be not ready to kind of give up your modeling career just yet, because right now you got a good lick.
At 25.
Right now you got a good lick going on with you and your mom. Y'all may be coming together modeling. But
the correlation in age, Frank, is because of what I guess what has become popularly termed as your sexual marketplace value, right? Your SMV, and with women, it's directly tied to looks.
See, and it's messed up, Matt, because
when I was some fine 30-year-olds out there, though.
The older you get, right? The older you get, the less you're able to trade on those looks. I mean, just think of it from the perspective of the porn industry, right? So we'll take it away from a nigga looking from a wife and us thinking of the man as being as objectifying the woman, right? But from the porn industry, right? You're 19, 21 years old, blonde hair, blue eyes, 130 pounds, big ass fucking titties, and you the fucking head monster, right? This is 1992, right? 2002, right? Nobody is really checking for the blonde chicks that much because what they're looking for is black girls with blonde hair with big booties and big titties, right? That do anal, right? So your marketplace value, right, in that 10 years, it just diminished, right? Not only that, you're no longer 19, 21 years old, blonde hair, blue eyes. You done picked up a few pounds, this, that, and the third, and now you
BBLs, all that.
Now you fit that cougar category, right? And the cougar category just doesn't pay as much. It's not as many. It's not as many people who are looking for that as back to whatever is the most popular thing of the day. What people are looking for. Right. And it just is what it is, right? And you could be mad as a motherfucker 10 years later after you didn't put your blood, sweat, and tears into the porno game, like a whole bunch of these old ass white chicks that we still see popping up on Vlad TV and some more shit, talking about how fucked up the industry is right now. And there's ageism and this, that. But the bottom line is niggas is not paying for your fucking OnlyFans, old ass lady. Period. That's just what it is. It's fucked up. But it is what it is.
At some age, you age.
Yeah, but 30 is far from cougar, though. 30 is far from cougar, though.
Listen to what I'm saying. Now, take the same foundational fucking shit, right? The same formula, and apply it to a man who is looking for a wife, right? At 25, right? At 25, he ain't looking for a fucking wife. He looking for 19-year-old bitches that fucking sit and spin on shit. Period. Niggas ain't trying to be married. Somebody get pregnant, that shit is a oops. All the way to 30. 30, you get a little bit of fucking money and shit, right? You in your career, you start thinking about the fucking future, start thinking about the, your goals, you start thinking about leaving the fucking progeny. You start looking for somebody to have a serious relationship with. 35, and you got your bread up, you looking to fucking, now you're doing better than average and shit, right? You in that 100K a year bracket, and you good looking and still single, and you've been through a few serious relationships and a bunch of fuck shit. Now you know what to look for and what not to look for. What you're not looking for is somebody who's been through the same shit that you've been through. You're looking for somebody that you're going to be able to build with that hasn't had those experiences, that you can help navigate around a whole bunch of fuck shit. And hopefully she will become the wife that you can live out the rest of your fucking life with. It's just what men want. It might sound fucked up, but it is what men want. I'm 57. In the last podcast, I told you, I just really don't feel like I want to go back to fucking arguing with 25-year-olds to get some understanding. Right. But I said that because I've been around 57-year-olds with no fucking understanding. And the nigga don't want that. Like, it don't matter how good I feel when I'm there. If I feel like it's not going to nowhere where I'm going to be happy and you're going to be happy, we're going to both be comfortable in the space together. If I don't see that, then what the fuck are we doing? And I would question that for a chick that's 25. Like, if you in life and you dating, what are you dating for? Are you just trying to fucking use up your chips? Because remember, niggas keep score. And women know niggas keep score. That's why y'all lie about your body count. Like, really. We know you lie. We don't question you. You know what I'm saying? We are. Is that right?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, Joe.
Really?
Yeah.
Not your business.
What I'm saying is, it matters to us. It does matter. You feel what I'm saying?
Not if you don't have.
Well, it's still.
I mean, either way it go, if you're gonna have to go through the shit with a person that's already been through it, or go through a person that you got to drag through.
No, but basically, what I got from this is that the woman that's 57 with you done been through the same life experience.
Shout out to the porn references.
So that's why you don't want someone the same age with you because she ain't, like you said, you want somebody that be like to see the shit that you don't see no more. You know, like you said.
Yeah.
So you figure somebody who your age, she got the same struggles with you. Like she don't know the internet like you, like you said, she ain't seeing it. She got tunnel vision like you, seeing shit through your eyes.
Not only that, but chicks my age, like I said, I'm an old nigga, right? I ain't 35, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I had 22 years on 35. So a chick my age has generally been through life. A chick my age that's able to fuck with me, you've been raised your fucking kid,
like you
been
can't
through your
teach
fucking
her,
job.
like you said about teaching, I want to be able to teach you.
There's nothing. The only thing there, and especially if we both got our shit together, right? Or really, if she got her shit together and I don't, right? Then there ain't no telling her nothing. The fuck can I tell her?
You know what I'm saying? And look, and that goes back to my real life, right? Because when I was in high school, I was always dating 10, 15 years older than me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was designed to be in a union, what you call husband. So I took care of the house, iron the clothes, get the kids ready. So, and I had no limitation. You can have 4 or 5 kids. I'm in there cutting all the kids. We got a minivan. It sells sport and so on. I'm not no simp or a hook, right? But I can still go back to the streets. Just like what you said.
Trigger warning. Nick is just admitting to being sexually molested as a minor, right? By some grown ass woman with kids, right?
With kids.
Grown ass woman with 5 kids. Right?
Trigger warning.
18, 19
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning.
If you have a problem with child molestation, then you may not want to listen to this portion of the show.
But you know what I'm saying?
You go for the 55-year-old woman. She's not 57.
Nope.
But my thing is this. My thing, just right quick. I believe it's in the raising of the woman. I believe that if you want to be a wife and a mother, then that's what you're gonna be.
Young and hard enough for you, because you like them a little young and hard. You to the point where you already don't want them young, but you could take them a little young and hard.
But like, even if I was boyfriend material, right? Because I'm actually husband material. If I had a recent conversation right now with a 30-year-old, 28, 32, I'm like, no, I'm ready to have some more kids and set this next part of my season up where I'm in it to win.
Stop.
No bullshit.
What kind of fucking what?
But I am so not Nick.
You're not trying to
me neither.
You can't go outside.
I'm trying to have all the kids.
Got all the kids I need. We are okay.
You know what I'm saying? Look, I got a daughter that's
it's not the same fucking heat.
Got all the kids I need. We are okay.
You ain't gonna go out there.
I got grandkids. I am okay.
It's hot outside. The heat.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I got a daughter.
110 when we were small.
You got a grandkid.
Yeah. I don't need no more kids. You know that's just ridiculous. It's time for them to have kids. How about that?
On the 5th, on the 5th of June, June 5th, she just turned 22 years old. So I'm like, okay, that's enough. That's enough space in between times, but right?
Yeah, happy birthday.
So birthday. So the thing is, right? In my 20 years of marriage, that's all the other stuff that I was working for. You know what I'm saying? This didn't happen to come around. You know what I'm saying? And believe me, it was the attempt, but like you said, it got caught up in some other stuff. So that all, like I said, like going back to what we said before, it contribute to the separation. Ridiculous where it was called intervention because I was going crazy.
Let me cut you off, Nick, and ask you a specific question, right? At the time that, not at the time of your marriage, but at the time that you first met your wife, number one, was she older or younger than you? And number two, was she financially established in her life or was she just on the come up?
She was 10 years older than me. And she was on the come up because when she met me, it had to start all over again. She didn't know me. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't relying on money. as a matter of fact, what I told her, all I got.
No, I'm saying, has she established some shit on her own, or in a previous relationship, whatever? Did she have her own shit? Or did she come to you just fucking broke and looking for a fucking job?
She had her basics together.
So she had a job. She had all the basic shit. Like, what you mean?
Basic
Coochie
shit.
was intact and shit. What's the basic shit mean?
No, I'm saying basically is that she had clothes, drawers,
and she could cook.
A car.
Okay, she had a car.
Bake the different. I don't eat females' food when I first meet them, so.
Yeah, but you've had eaten it before, though. I mean, but you've eaten it since you've met her.
TMI.
So, but that was the basis, you know what I'm saying? And it came from me coming right off the streets in, you know what I'm saying, from a whole different lifestyle.
Did she have a job?
Yes.
Okay.
Basics. That's what I'm saying.
So, you know what I'm saying?
So my question, my real question, right? That was a setup question. So in your 20 years, how effective were you? No. In your 20 years, how many times did you have to argue a point that you knew needed to be done, but she just thought that it was some other kind of way, and it turned out that you was right?
I would say out of the whole time, probably 4 times out of the whole 20 years.
That's good. That's not bad.
You know what I'm saying? And it came on people making transitions. You know what I'm saying? Like people losing life. And when we actually based on the shit.
So even though she was 10 years older than you, did she have a problem with letting you lead?
It developed into a problem towards the end because now it became a competition. Because I'm gonna take the lead regardless. That's just me. I'm gonna be on point.
Do you ever think
that's my job?
Do you ever think, and this is important to the subject, do you ever think that perhaps, and this is years later, do you ever think that perhaps she always had a problem with you taking the lead and that you just didn't recognize that there was a problem?
Correct. I would say yes. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody wants the story behind it. Everybody wants to add their greatness to the relationship. Where you are to me, because I'm with you. Now to pronounce it to everything else, when I stood in front of that church, in front of God, in front of all these witnesses, through sickness, health, rich or for poor, it don't matter. If we end up under the bridge tomorrow, right, we'll be the best under the bridge motherfuckers out there. But right here, right, I put my life into it to death. If it comes at my demise, I'm gonna make sure that you cool. But the one particular thing, right? Did you get the lesson by journeying with me the whole time? Because at any given moment, I could transition out of here. Can you carry on and take care of my family, my kids, my thing with the things you know? Or are you gonna give it to the next man and then he could still be me? And you thought the grass was green on the other side. You know what I'm saying? So that is the whole thing. Because after, in real life, I actually had to die.
No, Auntie. No.
There you go. You was there for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
All the kids at that point.
Yeah, for the people that really know the truth, I actually died without being divorced or nothing, and she still didn't come. And she had knowledge of it to see where I was doing good. Whatever, God and universe brought me to a different place. She had all the fun, and I didn't.
Well, what she wasn't supposed to. The way she left you, no, she didn't get the right. Even if she wanted to, that's just.
Yes.
No.
But the thing is, right?
And I might could repeat it, did 100 Hail Marys a day until like 10 years later. But if I find out that you're gonna live after I did you like that, no. Even if you're the only man I ever loved, it does not give me the right to try again. I did you too fucking dirty. I don't get to come back and
some people are that selfish.
love to you of you, and maybe she never seen another man after you. That could be it. But you don't. It's a whole certain set of circumstances that will allow you to do that. Some people can
Some people are
overcome
that
that.
selfish.
I don't see that.
Yes,
And
but
it doesn't give me the right to
but
try
taking
to
away from myself
and be
so,
like, you know,
yeah, but taking myself out of the
not
situation.
you like that, you know.
So the people that's close to me that actually know the situation, even to the what was the thing, Matt? To the we need a what was the thing that she brought up, dog? That we need a intervention.
Intervention.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I should have been broken.
She did too much.
You know what I'm saying? And this is the day because everything, just like I'm taking it back to the toxicity, right? It was now it got so over toxic where now, because if the book was written, right, I did everything that I needed to do. Not all the things that she wanted to do and all that. And I said that was a good, I actually real life lived a true gainful relationship for time where everything that you're gonna amass, like anything like Rolls Royces, Mercedes Benzes, like anything that this woman wanted to turn over, put her 2 feet on the ground and do what she had to do.
See, I agree with you, but I also think that it was different than the way that you see it now. I think that, and remember, I was there for the vast majority of all this fucking time.
Yeah, just let the truth out. It's on the
books
now.
What I think is exactly what the show is about, right? I think that number one, she was always who she was, right? But I think that in throughout throughout the vast majority of the time that you guys were together, you didn't have a problem with what she was and how she was and the way that she saw things and the way that she communicated. And she was pretty fucking Taurus headed, you know what I'm saying? Pretty bullheaded about how she saw shit. Like, it's almost like you forgetting. Here, I'll just say this. How many storage spaces are full of shit that you said, what the fuck are you buying that shit for?
A gang of
and the motherfucker just went and did that shit anyway because that's what she just thought that was what she wanted to do, right? She always was like that. What it was that there was no toxicity in it because you ain't had no fucking problem with it. Like, you was along for the ride and playing your fucking part in making shit better. You feel what I'm saying? So she would say, okay, well, we're going to go do this. And you might say, well, why the fuck would we go do this if we could do that? And she's like, well, I want to do this. And then what you'll say is, okay, well, we're going to make this work. Yeah. And then that's just what the fuck y'all would do. And you would make it work. And there's nothing to fucking argue about. But when it came time for you to say, look, what you're talking about right now, I just can't physically do it. Then what she did is stomp her feet in the fucking dirt more and more and threw tantrums. And then what you did was got the fuck up out of there. You got to the too much.
There you go.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But there was no difference in the behavior other than its intensity. And the intensity only came when she got some pushback. And so I would say the same thing, like if we go back to fucking Mo'Nique, right? Like all the shit that's going on right now, she don't see that there's nothing wrong in her relationship. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? Like, she's right along in like whatever this nigga is talking about, she believes that shit too. You know what I'm saying? And she encouraging this motherfucker to keep talking that foul shit like he know what the fuck he talking about, and she keep going along with it. So for them, there's nothing toxic. But imagine the time that she says, no, daddy, I don't think we should say nothing. Or, hold on, daddy. Hold on. Let me talk right quick. Don't say nothing. I got this, daddy. Because we never hear her say this. Nigga cuts her off, finishes her sentences and her thoughts and some more shit. But the minute that she bucks back against that is the minute that she's going to get some stomping in the ground. Well, damn, you don't respect me as a man. If you don't want me to speak for you, then how you respecting me as a man? And then she'll start to push back more and more like, damn, I give you a little bit of pushback and you throw a fucking tantrum. Like, do you really fucking give a fuck about me or do you give a fuck about what I do? The same way you was. Remember, that was your conversation with me. You just want me to work. All you give a fuck about is me working. You ain't even tripping about how I fucking feel. I'm all bent over and fucking crouched up on the toilet, balled up in the ball on the fucking carpet and some more shit. Can't move. Fucking don't want to take no fucking pain pills because the nigga ain't trying to get addicted to nothing and all that fuck shit. And my wife is talking about, oh, this nigga don't want to work. What?
And see, and that's the part where I said because I never
pills don't even take.
Fuck out of here.
No, I don't even take, man. Come on, man. And that was the most egregious thing. But
this nigga used to call me talking about cutting pills in half. Yeah, man, I took a little half a pill, a little quarter of half of a half.
Right, she was not what you supposed to do. Because she didn't want you to feel sick to stop working. Somehow, if she denied in her mind you wouldn't sick, you still could do all the functions of somebody that's not sick. Because if she had admitted that you were sick, then she would have been admitting, okay, with now this nigga might have to stay home. You know, he might can't do this no more. He might have to go in the hospital because you acknowledge that he's sick. But if she wouldn't acknowledge you was sick, then in her mind she could be like, bitch, why you not playing on the field? 48 minutes field.
Right, exactly.
She didn't give a fuck
about exactly what it was.
She didn't give a fuck about your feelings.
Right? So
this nigga said he wanted to come out to the lake house, right? Mind you, we always talk about the lake house where I lived, right? But this nigga's name was on the motherfucking deed. Right. This nigga got a whole house. Bedroom, all that shit. Big ass 3-bedroom house and shit, right? It's me and the kids, right? The kids is all in one room. This nigga got his own room, all that shit, right? This nigga says, I want to go down and chill for Father's Day, whatever the fuck. Just lay on the couch and just fucking kind of rest. So I ain't feeling well. And the woman called his motherfucking phone 15 times a day. I was so motherfucking mad. This nigga didn't want to fish. This nigga didn't want to go out and fuck with the plants. We had 50 plants in the backyard. This nigga didn't want to fucking go out and prune, look at nut like nigga.
I came out there and
you know what I'm saying? Because this is
mama.
Hey, mama. So the thing is, right, and to let the people I know that in the digital world, right, it became about the toxic infrastructure became about the money. You know what I'm saying? Like really, like Max said, he called it perfect. Right hand to left to right pocket, left pocket to right pocket, out the door, right? Because now it's like if she was reckless because I didn't give a damn about the money, you know what I'm saying? That she didn't take care of business, and she seen her financial part slipping away in her identity in the community. Now, mind you, you know what I'm saying? That I unmasked what you call a small fortune.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But then the thing is, I'd established business relationships in a community where I rub elbows with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like pretty much what they would call me the unofficial mayor of the town. But it took the whole group of everybody, Manuel Bogarty, all my friends that was young Black entrepreneurs, right? That she had access to. But she didn't have access to because all of that time she didn't learn how to communicate, how to conduct business, and she was right here along the side. Now she could do all the festivals, open up stores, but even as that's the part where she still wanted to work, but she could actually kick back and didn't have to work.
She wanted the option.
No, and the thing is, right? She had earned the right to do all of that without me saying that. Okay, well, you want to go to Costa Rica? Go ahead. You have no excuses. You want to go to Hawaii? But the thing is, Nick, I'll meet you there.
How did she earn the right? Because you did all the work? What do you mean she earned the right?
No, because the thing is, we work together.
Oh, you said when y'all first started out, y'all was.
Because if it was together, it'd have been together at the end. She'd have seen that you was sick and she'd have took on what she had to take on. She'd have been in it with you.
And listen to what I said carefully, right? Listen to what I said carefully.
No, you listen to what mom says carefully, nigga.
Yeah.
How about this?
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. That's what the hell I'm saying. You did all the work and she basked in the glory.
She was willing to let you kill over on the street.
Because if she was doing the work, nigga, work would have continued while you was in the hospital.
$100,000 on your dog ass.
Half a fucking stomach. No, she was willing to let you kill over and die.
If it was all about the work would have been taken care of while you was in the hospital.
This is the fucked up shit right here, Frank. So this nigga, when he started feeling fucked up, she was complaining about the work that needed to be done, his job. So this nigga said, okay, I'll tell you what, you hire a motherfucker, give him half my salary, take it from me and pay him, and I'll still show up. And that shit was a fucking problem.
Because she wasn't getting all the money. She had to get money coming from somebody else.
Money going out the house. Got half this nigga's salary going out the house.
Yeah, she didn't want none of that shit going.
I'll give somebody half my fucking salary, and you still keep yours, and you can't even agree to that. At that point, she was all right with being a slave master.
She wasn't all right, nigga, because I never been on the plantation, nigga.
She was all right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I never been on the plantation.
She was okay with whipping your ass.
The thing is, I wasn't.
Until you couldn't be whipped no more.
No, look, the thing is.
Exactly.
Right, I wasn't her slave because the thing is, right? And this is the part where she forgot the ignorant nigga I could be or petty. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is the thing, because I never tripped about money because the hustle never left me. I didn't change.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I stayed, and the woman could never ever change me. Now I could accommodate you, or what's the other fancy word and shit? I could try to conform to some of your ideas, but overall, you know what I'm saying? This is where it's at.
Ultimately, she took advantage, my nigga.
Yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, right? Because her actual structure was breaking down. My structure was actually elevating. You know what I'm saying? Because she still couldn't even accept that although, and I tell you this, because one of the things in the conversation, she was like, she was actually believing in her head, well, I said, but delusional, right? That we was wielding Jada Pinkett Smith or something. Like we had that much because people would stop like, oh, Miss Napoleon, you Napoleon. You know what I'm saying? Like this, that she thought she had an end, but all of that was just like, oh no.
When you the man, you the man.
So the pressure. But this is what I'm saying, right? But I never even looked at it like that. She started taking this all in. Everybody's asking about him, and it was been us.
You got a big head.
You're right. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I live.
Napoleon get to her head, right?
Hey, but I mean, you take your cues from your husband and fall back. But she couldn't do that because she was in it to win it.
She was
in it to win it, nigga.
I run this.
Yeah.
Shit. I'm the done.
Well, not just like, but something like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Like a
and if this
something like a Jada. I ain't gonna say just like that same energy though.
And
different manifestation of the same energy.
Come back and say, I need my husband and to make up with the man that he slapped.
only to keep the money good. She don't give a fuck about that man's reputation and none of that shit.
Let me bitch that date I would.
I mean, you should start an OnlyFans.
Nigga popped back up in the town and shit, and then all of a sudden it's like she didn't heard a ghost and fucking came back from the fucking dead or something and start panicking.
Right, right. Her pride wouldn't even let her
murder mouth in the nigga's name and some
because
shit.
he said that like, even after she heard I was alive and well, no, you didn't want her to come back and see her. She heard
whispers of all that nigga cancellations and shit. That motherfucker wasn't trying to fuck with you.
Nobody like that. You treat them like shit like that? No. You don't get the right.
She a cold piece. She a cold piece. That's crazy.
But he's doing better, so.
And nigga Nick froze on us and popped out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but back to the heart of the topic. Again, I think that a lot of times when you are in the situation, right, you are kind of caught up with whatever the feeling is that's keeping you there, right? And it's kind of hard to concentrate on.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to concentrate on what's right or wrong, or what's wrong in a relationship when you're so busy trying to concentrate on what's right or enjoy what's right. And so I think that a lot of times what happens is a lot of that shit that ends up ending relationships, it starts off as what we would consider to be ticky-tacky shit, like shit that I can live with, but fuck that, let me say something. I better say something, right? And saying something in a way that's not effectively communicating where you are. Like this is really a deal breaker for me. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of treading on that motherfucking, on that thin ice, right? So let's get back to dry land over here, because this shit ain't cool. But what usually comes across is because you generally don't want, you, like I was saying before you had came on, Shell, for a guy like me who's been such a reprehensible fucking asshole when it comes down to women for the vast majority of my life, and now trying to, as I always say, I'm trying to get in heaven by, you know what I'm saying, showing some retribution for some of the shit that I've done to the sisterhood, right? And for a guy who is now trying to really be authentic and real, and then have to be faced with something that would kind of be unpleasant because it puts you back in the mindset of who you used to be. What I mean is that, okay, so a chick is doing something that is a no-go for me, right? Fucking 30-year-old K-Mac would have chopped that shit off as soon as I seen it, in no uncertain terms. You'd have got cussed out, you know what I'm saying? You know, you might cry, you know what I'm saying? And ain't no telling what if it's any kind of pushback, right? 57-year-old K-Mac with the same shit and feels the same way about the same issue would be a little bit more recalcitrant in saying something. You know what I'm saying? Because it kind of puts me back into this mindset that, damn, well, if I tell her this, that this ain't cool, and I don't get the response that I'm looking for, then she might have to understand that I'm really not playing about this shit, and I'm gonna hurt her fucking feelings. So let me just not say nothing at all. Or if you get to the point where you gotta say something, you're trying to say it in the nicest way and not getting the same effect and impact that you would, you know, have if you was to say, look, motherfucker, you know, you talking to me like this, you call me a bitch and shit, man. Another time, dude, you don't have to worry about calling my motherfucking phone no more. And that's on my motherfucking mama. Play with me if you want to. You know, nowadays, a nigga be like, bitch, hold up. You know, damn, what kind of way is that to talk to a real nigga? You can't just call me a bitch, man. Oh, a bitch ass nigga. Yeah, here, look at you. You acting like a bitch ass. Nah, you feel what I'm saying? So it's just kind of hard to have the conversation.
Niggas trying to avoid the penitentiary areas too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But and that's what forget.
With your soul, you was like.
But look,
niggas trying to avoid the penitentiary areas. Nigga.
Like you, like I can't promise you, as you said, and you like I can't promise you that I wouldn't still go off on you. Like I know I'm supposed to be evolved, but I can't promise you that.
But thank y'all because you know what?
Ain't gonna say it.
But this is what I want to say. So, you know, that was one of the parts that it wasn't hard for me to get around it, right? But I'm happy that we got family stuff that we can actually talk to it. Now, my story is out there, you know, not a precautionary tale, but, you know, would you actually, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what's your story and precautionary tales and tidbits, like, you know, you consistently, you know, revert back to, you know, your real life shit, right? To really tell us, to teach us these lessons and shit, right?
So
that's what it is. Not me. Nigga, you know, I know, because I wrote this shit with you.
That's why that square is so valuable.
You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, that shit that you be saying and utilizing your personal experience, your life's experiences and shit, right? You know, that shit is what it takes in order for motherfuckers to kind of learn that maybe, you know, it's a different way for a guy or for a girl to go about, you know, communicating with their partner. Real spill.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this nigga, Nick, look. I fuck with Nick all the time, right? I throw my nigga under the bus, crack jokes, more shit, because this is my nigga, man. This is my little brother. I love this nigga more than anything in life, like for real. Right along with my sisters, right? The real story, the wrap up of this nigga's whole 20-year odyssey is Nick was the good husband. This nigga was that nigga. Checked off all the fucking boxes. This nigga said he had 4 arguments with his wife in 20 motherfucking years. That happy wife, happy life shit, I got that from her. She said that out loud, right? And this nigga agreed. Like, yeah,
happy wife, happy life. Ran my nigga sick though.
What the fuck, right?
Ran my nigga to the ground.
And so what I will say is, in the end, this nigga did no wrong. This nigga did everything right. And he still got dropped off like a fucking sack of fucking potatoes. You know what I'm saying? Because he was no longer able to fulfill the expectation that a person had created in their own mind of who he was going to be to them. There was no adapting, right? And, you know, Auntie Luana, you certainly can attest to this, that a marriage, especially one that's going to stand the test of time, requires a gang of adapting, a gang of compromising, a gang of reassessing what your positioning is on a particular thing, because factors change, right? She met this nigga, he was a strapping young motherfucker, kicking niggas in the ass and fucking choking bitches and some more shit. And this nigga became the love of her life, her strength, her protector, the nigga that streamlined the business and made her rich. You know what I'm saying? Showed her how to fucking spend that shit productively. You know what I'm saying? Where you ain't just fucking just going and throwing a whole bunch of fucking sack full of money at some more shit, but you still fucking driving Jags and fucking Hummers and big trucks and fucking BMWs and all this shit that you want. You know what I'm saying? This shit came as a result of you being with the best motherfucker that ever showed up in your fucking life, and the way that you repaid him when shit changed, when he was no longer able to be that physically. Because remember, this nigga's brain ain't went nowhere. This nigga show up on a podcast twice a week and talk that shit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, when Wi-Fi worked.
You feel what I'm saying? The nigga was willing to give up the money to have somebody else do the leg work while he still do the brain work. So you wasn't losing anything other than the control of this nigga's under my thumb, doing what I want him to do, how I want him to do it, when I want him to do it. And ain't nothing changing. And that's not what a fucking marriage is about. Period.
But and to put it on top of that, because she never controlled what I did anyway. That was the problem. You know what I'm saying? So she's seeing a kink in the armor. You understand what I'm saying? So that was the part where it's like, this is my way in, because he's delusional right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the toxicity came in, because when I seen a grown man die, you know what I'm saying, her father, right? And the thing is, I came to position to make the call from the doctors, from him. He's not going to no old folks home or no what you call that, hospice. I'm gonna put his ass right here in the living room. Who got a problem with it? You know what I'm saying? And that's when the family's like, well, oh, he's taking over. No. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, no, call up all the truth. Hey, I need this bed over here. I need this and this and this. Everybody come over here. Y'all gather around the strength. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said when the energy with God brought me to that task, right? Because I shut everything that they believed in their life. The family structure that their daddy gave me, that he passed to me. And then he died on my birthday. He said, I'm tired.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So, about to watch the Bayou Classic. And boom, boom, boom.
Getting drunk and getting it in. And all of a sudden you got to sober up real fucking quick.
like that. You know
You
what I'm saying?
out party
So-
having a good time.
There we go.
That was rough.
You know what I'm saying?
You
And
could've played
that
it.
is the part. That's when it was, like I said, that's what the dynamics changed because she got 9 brothers and sisters. So how can you let nobody else in the whole history of their family shot call like that? Because what you would be saying, I ran the whole family. You know, like, and thank y'all for the accolades. Like, no, the things, I checked off all the boxes. So I earned my right in that family because my family came about because that's what I needed in my development in defining who the man, not defining who the man is, where I'm growing into, that I'm going into the wisdom stage with. You know what I'm saying? And that they wanted to kill that because their daughter was about some takeover or, oh, he's not gonna stop till he get all the way to the top. I don't want your family shit. I got my own family shit. You see what I'm saying? So that's one intricate part where after that I started going down and down and down as far as my health and my sickness. Not in my mind, but in my, I gave all my energy out.
It always comes out.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That whole part right there.
Whatever
So yeah, when
whatever,
it started toxic, yeah.
Whatever you're trying to hide behind, whatever facade you got, that shit's go always. It's hard to keep that shit up for an extended period of time. Nigga. Yeah, that shit's gonna show. It's just fucked up for the people involved in your shit that you have to go through that shit for so long. But yeah man.
Yeah, when the pressure hits, you're gonna have to keep it real.
Man.
Yeah.
Man.
It's hard to take it under pressure.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down that, but the thing is,
but
right,
again, like I say, me and Nick, we got 2 different ways of looking at coming to the same conclusion. But looking at you know, the tone of the relationship. But of course he was in it, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, of course his perspective is going to be, you know, from his perspective. And I just think that she always was, it's like Jose said. Jose said her true character finally showed. It took his illness to expose it. And I always saw it. I just didn't have a problem with it. I have a problem with it because this nigga didn't have a problem with it. But she always was kind of not so much bossy, but she always had this air of she knows shit that we don't. Like she kind of thinks she's the smartest person in the room, which is fucking laughable. Like really.
Yeah, because
like really.
And I think that but and look, but
because he allowed her to feel that way.
Look, but no, because it's my sickness. I think I would call it a mental health problem because I want you to think, because I think behind that motivation, I want you to think you're the smartest person in the room. Because I'm always be the dumbest person in the room. Where you missing the pieces at, I'm gonna fill those in. I'm gonna critique your conversation. I'm gonna figure you out. You know what I'm saying? But not the thing is, but that's what I want. That's what I needed because, like you said, I just came out the street. I didn't have, you know what I'm saying, people, ladies of the night, you know, strippers. You know, like we said, we had a conversation with somebody laying next to me in the bed, allegedly on Van Ness, talking about I want to get out here and sell and give myself to everybody else. What's up?
Ladies of the night.
What
ladies of the night, sure.
Allegedly.
My nigga brings them.
So too
You know what I'm saying?
Ladies of the night, sure. He brings them, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We get it all.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, you fucking went too far today.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, turn Still Magnolia around. You know what I'm saying? Look, turn the Still Magnolia around. I got fresh work. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Mac, turn the Still Magnolia around. I got fresh work. I'm going to
that's why
you had me in a fuckery, nigga.
Hey,
you know what I'm
that's why this is my favorite podcast, goddammit.
I'm going to the 77 lick.
Sweeping them up.
Yeah. Give me to the 77 lick. You know what I'm saying? And look, but the thing is, right? And that all built my whole character to survive this life. You know what I'm saying? To actually know how to understand that all you can rely on is the character of the person that we all wrong with. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're going to compromise or you're going to do. But what are you actually built for? Because none of it's disrespectful. It's all a misunderstanding. Or you could be a walking contradiction. Because at these modern times, You know what I'm saying? That
it's
Right.
yeah. It's
you know what I'm saying?
Of the night though.
Allegedly, Felicia walked in. It's like, who you belong to? Let me stop. I ain't gonna throw her in there. It's a hospital.
Ladies
like,
of the night. Nigga,
I'm alive in the nighttime. House lit up at fucking midnight.
What the fuck they talking about? I'm pleading 5th, 6th, and 7th. God damn it!
No, you know what I'm saying. So
I only heard
trying
the story.
to get in the fucking heaven.
I only heard the story.
What's wrong with these people? Like God ain't listening. God listens to this podcast too. Shit.
Yeah,
right.
It's
his favorite podcast too.
I've been to communion and I've been to the confession box time and time again. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
I was that close. He put his hands on me and I shook his hand. He said, "Go back to this place. You're not finished yet." There we go, baby.
You want to give your chance to redeem yourself a little bit, you know.
I keep trying to tell the nigga you need to come on down here.
If I had to take it at this moment, Nick, I can't take it. But I'm gonna let you do. I'm gonna let you go back down there, suffer a little bit, be humble a little bit, be grounded a little bit, and then maybe when it's time to knock on my door again, I could be like, you know what, I could take you now. He couldn't.
They don't want me in Inglewood
at the time you was trying to go. No, he couldn't.
Be in Inglewood
right you in there. Too many other motherfuckers. He turned around. He ain't just gonna let you in there like that. He had to put back out here for a minute.
God put me on my path, so he sees my path, and the nigga is telling Nick, bro, you and this nigga been doing the shit.
I need daughter.
There we go.
Nigga, either you go here or you go with this nigga. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
He's still bullshit. He's still playing with the man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
came down here and left.
They don't want me in Inglewood.
They came down here and left, nigga. Real fast.
You told me to come out the woods, and I showed up out the woods and got rid of all my toxic, but it was a handful.
Yeah, but hey, Nick, you had a ball when you came out here too. You should have stayed, nigga.
Nephew.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, right? I seen that it probably would have been a problem. Yeah. I had to go back to the woods for a minute, man. You know what I'm saying? Take care of all this little hospital stuff. But I'm going back down there.
Not Karen, though.
Karen.
She's still doing good, too.
Karen was calling every day.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Not Karen.
That's for sure.
Now you're acknowledging?
Yeah, he acknowledged it. Yeah, he all in. He just slid into that pool, down that dry ass slide, nigga.
But it's like
a woman of
yeah, he done admitted it.
Stupid Shell. Shell, I ain't gonna let you go in on the black woman like that.
Yeah, but
anyway, because she's straight to made her Karen though.
Yeah,
but that's the thing.
Nothing you want to see that's not gonna let her be Karen.
Hey, I still think her stealing the dogs is one of the best events in podcast history.
That's what got her being
shit was
on
hilarious,
the shit,
nigga.
right? That was what got her. If she would have just walked through it, motherfucker would have been like, "Who the fuck is that?"
But when she did,
was she Indian or something? Nah, she came on her hands and knees.
And was stealing puppies.
Straight hair and pale skin, stealing puppies, nigga. I can't even throw you no bell, little mama, and I know you. I know
that was one of the funniest moments in podcast history, though.
That shit was Karen-ish as a
motherfucker.
Puppies. We only saw one dog in the cage.
Under the nigga nose.
And this nigga kept going too, like he just like, yeah, nigga. All of us like, what the fuck?
Hey, so y'all said it was like WWF World Wildlife Federation.
Still gonna say, hey,
so you
act like you didn't see them goddamn dogs.
Was that WWF World Wildlife Federation?
Shit.
That's what we said.
That shit was hilarious, bro. That shit was.
We gonna leave that in history.
Oh, nigga, that shit was
podcast history.
Yeah. Once motherfuckers get to it, once motherfuckers get to it, right? Once motherfuckers get to it, they see that shit, nigga, they gonna die. That shit's hilarious, nigga. That shit was hilarious. You can always
go back and check out the episode on YouTube. We got 120 something of them, 130.
Getting it, almost 150. We almost at 150. Y'all look at us.
We're doing our thing.
Yeah.
Growing organically.
Yes, sir. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? They gonna love us one day, I bet you.
Even my male member.
Yeah.
It was definitely a day to remember.
Wow.
Hilarious, bro. That shit's funny.
Shout out to my girl KM though.
Yeah. That's the one thing.
Love you.
For sure.
You make this nigga
For
smile,
sure.
you make me smile.
Hey, it's all good shit. You know we just fucking with you. We love you.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out
Real fucking
this nigga. This nigga though.
Protect yourself.
The opinions of the mermaid are hers and hers alone and do not reflect the other members of the pod. God damn it. Trigger warning.
Oh yeah.
This nigga.
Hilarious. Well, we didn't got to we didn't went over. We
Buck
had
45.
Buck 45 in this bad boy. Jose said which episode specifically. I'll find it.
Yeah.
No, don't do it, though.
Yeah, boy.
Jose.
Oh yeah, he got to see that. This was hilarious.
Y'all faces in the background.
Yeah, I'll find it and send you a link, bro. In any event, I want to thank everybody for joining us today on the Piranha Pond Streamcast live at 5/7 Central. Everybody that joined us on YouTube and Facebook live, and everybody that jumped in the comments. If you join on, I got you, Fee. I got you, Fee. I got you, Meeklin. And I got you, Jose. If you joined on the Facebook side of the game, jump over to YouTube. Give us a sub over there. It helps us out a great deal. You just don't know how much. If you're joining on either platform on a replay, leave a comment. They show up in real time. Nick always likes that. He's up at 3:00 in the morning, checking out the replay, answering you guys in real time. If you joined on either platform, jump over to the clubhouse. We have a room over there called the Piranha Pond. We jump in sporadically after the ponds start rooms and keep the conversation going. You guys are always welcome to jump on stage and talk yo ish. Any other church announcements? No, that's pretty much it. You guys know what it is, what it has been, what it always will be. We are at the Piranha Pond Streamcast live at 5. And now we are
Cancellation cancel.